Have you noticed your wine disappearing?
Yes, I feel
Sober?
it's ruining my life.
So, will you do it?
Yes, I'll do anything. Just leave me be.
Oh, I will, and I'll call it a deal very soon. You're not trying to sneak some wine past me, are you? I thought we had a deal.
Help me, Geralt! Big Daddy! Random GoBot. I'm going too far! Too sober! I'm losing my mind! No, it can't be real.
Sebastian, you know what you need to do.
Okay, I'll do it. But before I die, please tell me, who are you and why do you hate me so?
It was me all along.
Barry Skoda, but why?
You forced me to watch the Mario movie. You made me drink ouzo. You took the piss out of my height. You've desensitized me to life. Right, I'm going to do to you what you did to me. And then I remembered the thing that matters to you only. Wine.
So, you took my wine and made me sober. What a deliciously evil plot. Your motive is symbolic of—
No, Sebastian. Save your plot-finding powers, because you'll need them for what we're about to do. Are you going to do it?
Yes! Well, I would, but I don't really know what I need to do. You never told me.
I didn't? Sorry, that was really careless of me. You must have been really confused about this whole thing.
Yes, I have. And another thing. How did you manage to teleport and change your voice?
Plot convenience! And get used to it, because you'll be seeing a lot of it as you suffer through the Digimon movie!
Oh my god! Is it bad?
It's so bad.
Wait, is it Power Glove? So bad.
Badder. You're achieving the final stages of sobriety. The meanings you saw in shoddy writing are revealing themselves to be nothing more than plot holes. The revelations you have experienced exposing themselves to your sober brain as pretentious twaddle. No more will you take pleasure in watching mundane subpar cinematics. You are sober now, Sebastian. No more will you be protected from the true pain of unlawful plots. I stripped you of the hazy cushion of inebriation, so that the horror of Digimon will hit you with full force. You're just now a jaded internet nerd, and you'll hate every single second of this terrible movie.
You utter cock.
Come on then, do the intro.
Why?
Well, it's your show.
So, what's the point of anything?
Oh God, I'm not going to have to do this, am I?
Yes.
Good afternoon and welcome to Finding the Plot with me, Barrington Skoda III. Today we're going to detour from the standard analysis of the plot of video games and move on to a cult classic of any 90s kid's childhood, the Digimon movie. Despite being somewhat of a commercial failure, I believe it has a lot of artistic merit, and people need to be more aware of the love it deserves. The movie that we're about to watch is in fact a compilation of 3 episodes released earlier on, and was bundled together and edited down in order to satisfy an American and European audience. We begin with MC Peapod's infamous remix of the classic Digimon theme, which...
Oh, Christ. Is this for real? Are they going to say Digi with every single word? It's like some second-rate Smurf rip-off.
Well, it's like the same way that Apple have an I in front of all their products. It allows for any word they say to be related directly back to the franchise.
Okay, but Digimon are the champions? Champions of what? Is there some competition that I don't know about?
No. Champions is their Digivolution stage. Now stop whining!
Okay, give me some wine and I will, ironically enough.
Maybe later. Anyway, we begin with what was the pilot episode for the Digimon series before it was originally broadcast in August 1999. This has been cut to assume that we have already seen the first Digimon TV series, and so we must take this with a pinch of salt, as it has been cut quite a bit.
What the hell? What's happening? Why is a parrot fighting a dinosaur?
Well, it's Japan. There's always a parrot fighting a dinosaur somewhere.
So this girl Kari, apparently, is narrating the story, giving us an introduction into the Digimon lore, which is handy because I know nothing about them, and Barry supposedly knows everything. Kari and some others met Digimon and became Digi-destined. What that means I have no idea because the film never explains. She says that she and her buddies in Japan got Digimon, while this kid, Willis, in America had twins. It's nice of them to explain the past in such a way as to raise questions without answering them, but hey-ho.
Remember, this is a quickly edited pilot episode, so they've left half of it as it always was, and half stuffed in full of references to the old TV series.
So, 8 years ago, the sky turned all matrixy and the computer came to life, flashing red. Somehow, a digi-egg pushed its way through the computer monitor and deposited itself in the real world.
They must have a really good printer.
Ty spends the morning trying to work out how to kill the egg.
Hey, I know what we can do. Let's use it as a soccer ball.
And all I can think about while looking at the egg is Billy Hatcher. And as terrible as that game was, it's still better than this. And another thing, why has Ty been left in charge of Kari when he's clearly too young for that sort of thing?
Well, given that these 2 Japanese kids can communicate suspiciously fluently in English, as well as to some extent use a computer, I guess they do really deserve some advanced responsibility.
Anyway, the egg hatches into Gish, and by blowing her whistle, Kari turns it friendly. Ty gets a phone call from his friend Sora, who bitches to him about puking in her hat. This plotline never gets resolved, which is a shame because it's the most interesting part of the movie. The conversation is cut short as all the electronics go crazy. This is because the Digimon has evolved into... Okay, I give up. What the hell is it meant to be?
I'll be honest. Given Pokemon's success, it was a necessary choice to have the Digimon resemble rejected Pokemon in the vague hope that they'd catch a similar popularity.
Be that as it may, anything sensible this movie is trying to convey has been invalidated thanks to this fart gag.
What's Mom gonna say if she finds out? It can't get any worse. It just got worse.
The Digimon goes all head crab and nothing is achieved. It turns out that the Digimon can speak and is called Koromon. Again, this is pointless, other than to establish that Digimon will do anything for their friends, and then...
Digimon truly becomes your friend. They'll do anything for you. Anything.
Let's have...
What? What are you making me watch? Why did Kari put emphasis on anything after the Digimon shit itself? I mean, does it mean they'll drop Dookie on demand? I demand an explanation for this Digi shit!
Calm down, Sebastian. Basically, the writers were told to remove any Japanese in-jokes that us Western audiences wouldn't get, and supposedly had to put it in with American humour.
So, the Digimon digivolves into a dinosaur.
He's called Agumon, damn it!
And Kari happily rides him from, like, the 100th floor. They cause havoc in town and Kari is totally blasé about it all.
Mom usually just puts money in, but I guess that works too.
Agumon tries to kill a van driver and then shoots at helicopters without provocation. His attempted killing spree looks to be out of control. Until a giant egg appears and a monster parrot hatches out of it. They fight and presumably hundreds more die as explosions pepper the city. I've got to say, seeing as Agumon has been killing people without provocation, I think this parrot is the good guy. Agumon digivolves again, declares I'm Greymon now, is bigger and is seemingly killed until Kari whistles him awake. He nukes the parrot and they disappear. So, the good guy dies. Tell me, Barry, is this trying to convey the futility of life and justice?
He's not the good guy. Admittedly, whilst the way in which how Parrotmon got there is never really explained, I believe the purpose of this film is to establish the difference between the good and the bad Digimon. The merciless killing of all those innocent people was simply a misunderstanding. And besides, who cares about hypothetically dead people?
Kari says that everyone who saw that became digidestined, which means that everybody in Japan must be digidestined as opposed to the few main characters. However, they're not. So that was a bunch of bollocks.
Well, actually, in the TV series, it seems that none of them have any recollection of this event.
So they're screwing with the canon then?
No, Sebastian! It's obviously part of a much larger superplot.
Ha, yeah, right. Anyway, we now skip ahead 4 years later, where Izzy, one of these digidestined, is able to spot the one virus on the internet. Yes, his computer can spot the one virus on the internet. And it communicates in garbled, is that SQL? Somehow this one virus on the internet is broadcast to everybody. Okay, assuming that this is set somewhere between 1998 and 2005, there were hundreds, no, millions of viruses around the world. There was porn too, lots of it. Why are people sitting around watching viruses on their laptop instead of porn? Oh yes, because of magical technology. They can also create a render of what the virus is attacking, because that's how computers work. Everyone can do that too. Don't analyse the virus code, which you can clearly see. No, because that would actually work.
Hey, the people who were watching this film were only in primary school at the time. We could just about work solitaire, never mind all this virus shizzle. I can't believe I'm saying this, but can't you just enjoy the movie? It's not bad and you're spoiling it for me. I'm meant to be gloating at your pain, not fearing your wrath.
Then let me have some wine.
I'm not letting you have some wine until the end of the film.
The whole world watches as a Digi-Egg is infected by a virus. All around the town, this virus Digimon Splooge Cyclops is appearing. Even messing up TVs, even though TVs don't work that way. Various electronics are being messed up by the virus. Izzy turns up at Ty's house and reveals that the Digi-Egg has hatched. He says that the Digi-Analyzer doesn't recognise it, which begs the question, who in the past 4 years has developed technology that can just recognise Digimon at will? Even now, we can't point a camera at a creature and just identify it. This movie is stupid. In fact, the most interesting part of this scene is that Izzy's phone has the Screw Attack logo on it. Izzy reveals that a kid named Willis has emailed him the information about the Digimon. They trust it because... why not? The Digimon evolves and the internet is shown to be like a Pac-Man maze and the Digimon is eating data. Really? Before I continue, if this virus is on the internet and they have all this magical technology, why don't they just delete it at its source where it's being hosted? But I guess that wouldn't work, because this Digimon can somehow alter physical paper barcodes. Why are they even trying to use the terms like the internet and a real-world setting when all sense of logic is abandoned? They go onto Ty's dad's PC and see the Digimon has digivolved and even spoke its name through a GIF. Somehow, I presume that's a GIF image anyway, even though I should just disconnect my mind from how technology really works and just give in to this fetid fiction. So, the Digimon contacts the kids, and this is one major thing that bugs me about this film. It introduces the concept of Digimon with the origin story, and then it suddenly just assumes that people know who these characters are. They're like, oh, hi, remember these characters? They're here and doing stuff. And I have no idea why. It's just really lazy.
Look, Seb, nobody watched this film who hadn't already seen the TV series. A lazy job maybe, but nonetheless, people were celebrating the fact that this was the Digimon movie.
Let's do it.
Let's do what? The Digimon say they found a way to enter the internet, which is odd seeing as they're born on the internet. One would assume that accessing the internet was a piece of piss for them, but whatever.
Yeah, 'cause you regularly climb up inside your mother's womb, right?
Oh god, you've just made this scene, and thus the whole movie, irredeemably disgusting. They head off into the internet and fight the Digivirusmon thing. It turns out that all the other Digidestined are unable to help Izzy and Ty because they're all busy. Anyway, the Digimon are flying down the internet, and this raises some questions. 1. Why is the internet presented like an LSD-inspired kaleidoscope of cheap wrapping paper? 2. How are Ty and Izzy presenting individual high-res windowed webcam conference images to the Digimon when no webcam or microphone is evident, let alone 2? 3. Seeing as the old man has a modem, so has obviously logged onto the internet before, why do the Digimon need Izzy's password?
Hold it! You're gonna need a password.
You can use mine to get on the internet from digits!
Especially when they don't use a username. The virus kicks their asses and then jams the internet by making millions of phone calls. This means that Ty can't call his friends for backup. Izzy luckily has a satellite uplink so he can still get online. An emergency voicemail system is set up so Matt and TK, 2 other Digidestined, return Ty's call. They zip off to find a computer, while Ty and Izzy get online and look for Infomon, apparently that's the virus's name now, who continues to mess up TVs and electronics which aren't connected to any kind of network. He's off to America apparently. So, Matt and TK are online, and thus prove that the satellite uplink and the internet being jammed subplot was entirely pointless, especially as we see other people watching the live web stream of the battle. The Digimon continue to get their asses handed to them, and Izzy is getting millions of emails somehow, which I have no idea why. The virus launches missiles towards Colorado, and there's 10 minutes until the world goes boom. The Digimon continue to struggle, so Ty goes into the computer with the power of plot convenience. It's so mind-numbingly lazy that even the movie doesn't try to explain it.
None of us are sure how, but Ty's bond with War Greymon was so strong, Ty himself became digital.
With this Deus Ex Machina, they kill the virus. Despite 1 second until impact, the nuke lands in the water and doesn't go off. I don't even need to explain why that's stupid. And then we see Willis prancing around with his Digimon.
Hold it!
What?
You're being really irritating now. If I give you a sip of wine, you stop promising to bitch about this film.
I make no promises, but I will agree to drink wine. Of course, the children were presented with Digimon at a young age, a clear reference to the virtual pet craze at the time, such as Tamagotchis, Furbies, Digimon, Pokemon and the like. The Digimon were shown as a destructive force, and one understands that this is the creators personifying the destructive influence of giving children technology at too young an age. As we flash forward, it is clear that the children are consumed with their reliance on technology. Ty and Izzy are always on computers. Sora has a pager. Everybody is watching the virus on their computers. When the virus paralyzes the internet, our heroes are completely powerless. They have to turn to even more technology in order to defeat the virus. And yet, it is their reliance on technology that nearly destroyed the world in the first place. It seems that the Digimon movie is an argument against our over-reliance on technology. Notice how the footage of Willis at this point shows him frolicking happily in a field with not a computer in sight. This is a world of purity, a world that we should aim for.
Wow, you really can analyse the shit out of anything when you're drunk. Let's see how you handle the rest of the film.
Unfortunately, something bad happens to one of his Digimon. In the present day, we meet some new characters. Kari is in America with TK. Something strange is going on. It turns out that Willis is being attacked by a Digimon called Kokomon. At this point, I would like to point out that the Digimon are now in the real world, showing how technology's influence on the world has progressed to the point that these kids keep their digital companions with them at all times, in an almost symbiotic relationship. Willis's Digimon battles Kokomon, who keeps saying, Kari and TK try to make contact, but Willis runs off. He reveals that he's heading back to Colorado as TK's Patamon watches. So consumed are they by their pursuit of technology, any and all obligations are forgotten, and Kari and TK rush off to follow this exciting new Digimon. They tell their friends, by email of course, to come and join them in Colorado. The gang are on a beach and haven't the money to fly to Colorado, but they manage it through pulling favours, because a kid with an exciting new Digimon is the most important thing ever.
And this is a great example of the movie's level of interaction with its audience. Given that Colorado is a state as opposed to a town or city, we get to decide for ourselves where they are.
Hush, Barry. We see that Willis is walking to Colorado, showing that he is the only one who is trying to avoid relying too much on technology, for reasons that become apparent later on, while Kari and TK are taking a train which gets stopped by Kokomon. The other group makes it to America, and end up stranded on the side of the road. Conveniently, they flag down a truck and we see Willis is hitching a ride in it. The kids bond and decide to go with Willis and await TK and Kari at his house. They will presumably find his house with GPS. However, shenanigans leaves Willis and Davis stranded. At this moment, Kokomon turns up and we get another fight. Terriermon digivolves into a pair of trousers and then Kokomon vanishes again. Willis and Davis ride Raidramon to Willis's house and find that Kari and TK still haven't arrived. Willis is being influenced by this group into giving more into technology. Notice how all of this seems new to him. He's been trying to avoid technology, but why? Willis reveals that he received Digimon like the others did at the very start, an unsolicited arrival it seems, perhaps representing a present from a relative. He looked after them as friends and pets. In this montage, life is very simple, rural. However, he committed a great sin by trying to create his own Digimon. This Digimon was infected by a virus and became Diaboromon from earlier on. When it got destroyed, the virus hunted Willis down and infected Kokomon. What we have are two distinct themes here. First is the over-reliance on technology mentioned before, and second is that blurring of the lines between technology and nature. Willis lived a rural, idyllic life, which was shattered by the introduction of technology. He didn't know what would happen at first, but now he's on the run. His biggest mistake was in innocently using technology to try and play God by trying to create life. It went horribly wrong and nearly destroyed the world. Some consider designer babies and even stem cell research as being something similar, crossing the boundaries of which is natural and artificial. It seems that this film is arguing in favour of Willis's rural life and showing that technology is becoming too prevalent and advancing too fast. With that story out of the way, Kokomon appears and there's another huge fight. All the Digimon get involved, Digivolve, and even Kari and TK turn up, but it's all ineffectual.
Oh, can't we watch this fight scene? It's really awesome.
No, it's pointless and just involves shoehorning in as many Digi-evolutions and cheesy one-liners from each character as possible. They get transported back in time to become younger children, and they realise that the go back that Kokomon has been demanding means go back in time to erase the virus. So that's what they do. By going back and destroying this at the source, it's an admission from Willis that he should never have tried to play God. So through sheer plot convenience, they invent the ability to digivolve Davis's and Willis's Digimon into some random mega fanfic, and go inside the now super mega ultra big digivolved Kokomon. Inside, they see the original Kokomon, who instructs them that they need to kill him in order to kill the virus. Back on the outside, the huge clown bunny thing becomes free of the virus, but for some unknown reason dies. We are reassured that Digimon can never really die though, so this whole virus thing was rather ineffective.
But if the virus never got anywhere, now that they've killed it at the source, none of the film actually happened, and Kokomon wouldn't have actually died. Oh, what's happening to me?
You're coming to terms with the truth, thankfully. Willis goes back to the New York area, and while talking to his mum at the coast, sees a Digi-egg wash up. It's Kokomon, and symbolically, he is born through nature, not from a computer, and so ends the film with a clear message to get away from your computers and learn how to live in the real world, in case you end up creating a destructive internet-based life form. And that is the plot of the Digimon movie, or perhaps we've been talking bollocks this whole time.
So your plot was better than mine then, Sebastian. What are you going to do about it?
Not allow you any more WKD or Stella.
But what if I try to play the Digimon theme?
Fine.
Objection!